Our hands have a number of important jobs, from influencing strike, to face angle, to the loft of the club at impact. They are also the main contributor to the speed of the club head, and therefore how far we hit the ball. So we must hold the club in a way that allows us to use our hands effectively. Now there's no one perfect way of gripping a golf club that's going to suit everybody, as we have to take into account our own personal swings. However, there are a few elements that are going to give us the best chance possible of maintaining good control of our club. The first thing we'd like to be sure of is that we hold the club very much in the fingers as opposed to high up in the palm. Whether it be vertically, diagonally, or horizontally across the palm, this is going to limit our wrist action. However, if we push the club down more into the fingers, it's going to free up the range of motion of our wrists, and we're going to be able to use the club effectively. So to do this, very simply, hold the club vertically along the base of the fingers, wrap your fingers around the grip so that you can hold the club up without using the rest of the hand at all. The second aspect of the grip we'd like to look at is making sure we keep the thumb up against the side of the hand. If we don't, and we create a gap, there is the possibility of an unstable club. So by keeping the thumb up against the side of the hand, the club has nowhere to go and we're going to have greater control. Once we have a good grip with our left hand, we want to add the right. We're going to follow the same two rules. First is to make sure you start off with the club in the fingers. So we have hold of the club, but my palm isn't touching it at all. Secondly, I make sure my right thumb is pushed up against the side of my hand. And thirdly, I'm going to slide the hand down so that it's close up against the left hand and my right thumb sits directly on top of the left thumb. Now this is what we would call an 8-finger grip. The 4 fingers of the left hand followed by the 4 fingers of the right hand. And this is a perfectly acceptable way of playing golf. However, you will find that most golfers will make one of the following 2 alterations. The pinky finger of the right hand comes off the grip, the right hand slides down, and the pinky finger sits on top of the index finger of the left hand. This is what we'd call an overlapping grip. The second variation would be that you take the index finger of the left hand off the grip and you actually interlock the pinky finger with it. And this is of course called an interlocking grip. All of these 3 ways of holding the club can work perfectly, and it's more a case of experimenting to find what's best for you than trying to copy someone else or follow someone else's advice. Now the final thing we want to look at is our alignment of the hands in relation to the club face, and this could be one of the most important aspects of your grip. Most people will start with a square club face and simply place their thumbs on top of the grip pointing straight down the middle. Now this is what we would actually call a weak grip, and it's more likely to cause an open club face. A more neutral grip is one where we have the hands rotated slightly away from the target, and this is going to give us a better chance of squaring the club face. If we overdo this and we rotate the hands even further to the right, it's what we'd call a strong grip, and this is more likely going to close the face. So finding a reasonably neutral grip is the best way of ensuring we have the best chance possible of squaring the face and hitting our target. The simplest advice that can be given is that if you stand in front of a mirror and hold the club out in front of you in this way, the line created between the thumb and the side of the hand is going to point somewhat to your right. Close to the right shoulder would be a good guide. So again, our 3 keys are going to be making sure we have the club in the fingers as opposed to high up in the palms, making sure our thumbs are close to the hand so there's no gap, and then making sure we have a neutral grip which is rotated slightly behind the shaft. These 3 things are going to give us the best chance possible of striking the ball well, controlling the club face angle, controlling the loft of the club at impact, and also creating the speed that we want to hit the ball a long way.